Welcome to Money Gang. Today we are talking basketball and the greatest team you have never heard of, the New York Renaissance, aka the first all-black basketball team. Let's go. After moving to the United States from the West Indies in 1901, 19-year-old Bob Douglas landed a job as a doorman in New York City. A few years later, a co-worker took him to see a basketball court in Midtown Manhattan, and he was amazed by the athleticism on display. Motivated by the experience, Douglas went on to form and coach the New York Renaissance, which was established over 100 years ago. Known as the Rens, they became the first black-owned, all-black professional basketball team in history. But there was a problem. Black athletes were still prohibited from participating in professional basketball as of 1923 and couldn't compete for national basketball titles. I find it really hard to believe that NBA players are unaware of the fact that the NBA, when it began, was segregated. Basketball legend Kareem Abdul-Jabbar said in On the Shoulders of Giants, 2011, a documentary he produced to bring attention to what he called the best team you've never heard of. The NBA was founded in 1946 and was segregated until 1950. Decades earlier, the New York Renaissance played, and typically won, any exhibition game it could. Between 1923 and 1949, the team posted a stunning record of 2,318 wins and just 381 losses, forming the New York Rens. In 1923, Douglas, who had loved sports as a child, was determined to form a basketball team and create opportunities for black athletes in New York City. First, he needed a place for the team to play, and he found it at the Renaissance Ballroom and Casino on 7th Avenue and 138th Street in Harlem. Douglas approached casino owner William Roach about putting up 2 basketball nets on one of the dance floors, where his team could play games and clear the floor before late-night dancing began. According to Bob Kuska's book, Hot Potato, How Washington and New York Gave Birth to Black Basketball and Changed America's Game Forever. I asked Roach about having a team there, and he said, absolutely not. You'll play rough basketball, and those rough crowds will destroy my place, Douglas said in the book. But Douglas convinced him to change his mind after he promised to schedule the games and pay the teams himself, assuming all financial risk. There was one other stipulation. Douglas had to name the team after the casino. The New York Renaissance, also called the Harlem Renaissance Big Five, marked the first naming rights deal in basketball. Future NBA Commissioner David Stern said in On the Shoulders of Giants, what made the Rens special was that those players came from the heart of African American culture. Harlem Globetrotters CEO Manny Jackson said in On the Shoulders of Giants, as an African American, you hadn't lived until you experienced African American culture in New York, and the Rens embodied that excellence. However, the Renaissance Casino had fewer seats and smaller crowds than other New York City venues, so Douglas had to fill the arena to generate revenue and keep the team going. Romero Doherty, a prominent New York sports editor, predicted 2 financial failures at the Renaissance and the team will collapse, Kuska's book noted. So the team traveled the country, playing anyone who would take them on. They faced discrimination and racist violence, including fistfights with white players and fans after the Rens defeated their teams. The players were often barred from hotels and restaurants while on the road due to Jim Crow laws and segregation policies. We would walk into a white-owned restaurant, and the best we could get was to eat standing in the kitchen where no one could see us, Renaissance player John Isaacs once told the New York Times. Many times they couldn't get into hotels. Basketball historian Dick Engelberg said in On the Shoulders of Giants, often they slept in jails because it was the safest place available, achieving unmatched success. Despite all challenges, the Rens kept winning. The team boasted incredible talent, with 7 players eventually being inducted into the Naismith Memorial Basketball Hall of Fame. Isaac, Sonny Boswell, Zach Clayton, Nat Sweetwater Clifton, Charles Cooper, Pop Gates, and Clarence Jenkins. In 1925, the Rens stunned the world by defeating the original Celtics, the top all-white team at the time. In the 1932-33 season, the Renaissance won 88 consecutive games, a professional basketball record that still stands. In 1939, they beat the all-white Oshkosh All-Stars to win the first professional basketball world championship in Chicago. As noted in Kuska's book, the Globetrotters Jackson said the Rens revolutionized the game of basketball with their quick passing, allowing for faster play and a more fluid game. The rules were originally designed for a slower, more methodical game, he said in On the Shoulders of Giants. As the team aged and the toll of extensive travel mounted, the Rens began to decline, Kuska wrote. The team disbanded in 1949, but their contributions to advancing black athletes in basketball are undeniable. Douglas, who owned and coached the Rens throughout their 25-year run, is remembered as the father of black professional basketball. The New York Renaissance was inducted into the Hall of Fame in 1963, and Douglas became the first black individual inductee in 1972, ensuring the Rens' legacy endures. Thanks for watching. Please remember to like and subscribe. We are posting videos twice a week, so make sure you don't miss any content.